Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are now into September. We just had the long weekend, and that means that the August real estate stats for Edmonton are available. Jay, glad we could connect again to make this video and share what's been going on in real estate in Edmonton. I know we were talking midway through August, and you said things seem to be a little bit slower. What do the numbers actually tell us, Jay?
Yeah, definitely, Josh. That is for sure true. And I would just encourage you guys stick around, wait for the end. We're going to talk about some key takeaways and maybe even talk about a major disruption coming in our market. So let's just talk about inventory. You know what? Our inventory is back up. So here we are at 7141 bits of inventory, up from 7083. Our inventory is slowly creeping up. And you know what? Our sales, they're dropping. So we are at 2382 sales, down from 2860. So you know what? When we have a couple months in a row where inventory is climbing and sales are dropping, that talks about maybe a little bit of a shift in our market sentiment. Day on market again, 3 months in a row, they've been up slightly. So these three things, they start to talk about something that's changed in our marketplace. Josh.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the days on market are very similar to last year,
Yeah.
but definitely have been slowing down for sure. Except, we're going to probably see that apartment condo looks like it's shortened up a little bit. So we'll talk about that a bit later, I'm sure.
Yeah, super interesting. The apartment condos have definitely been an interesting story. So let's just talk about the rate of change, right? So again, we got some drops here as well, like 2% dropped, right? Dropped from a 1.3. So we're seeing year over year, we're still in good shape, right? Up over 5% for these detached homes. Semi-detached is up 1% now after the last month's drop of a 1.3%. Apartment condos, again, huge turnaround from July. We were in the negative numbers in July, and here we are up 5%, up 5% year over year. Very, very interesting for sure, to say the least. So, what does that mean for pricing, though, Josh? So, a detached home, still down here, right? 534 we were in July, and here we are at 524. Detached homes down to 418 from 424,000. Townhouse is up 5,000 to 295 from 290. It is interesting too. Middle of the month we had a lot stronger townhouse numbers, and then it switched back around and sort of we lost traction in the last half of the month in the townhouses. But look at apartments, 200,000, almost at a year high, up from 190. Like, what's going on with those, Josh?
I don't know. It's been interesting to watch the apartments. They're the one property type over the last 5 years that's kind of been stuck in that $190,000 to $200,000 price window, whereas everything else has gone up significantly since the start of the pandemic in 2020.
Yeah, so that leads us really into our key takeaways. I think we need to watch condos. So is this an early sign about an affordability crunch coming here to Alberta, where we have some buyers that have decided, you know what, we really are just stuck at buying into these apartment condos, and so that's putting a bit more pressure on. Let's see what September says about that. Another thought that we've been digging into is, like, we had a really early spring rush, and maybe we're into an early fall slowdown. Maybe we'll see. It's after Labor Day now. Do we see the usual pushback, or are we going to coast a little bit longer into September? And really, it feels like an odd space to be, but we're getting closer to a balanced market than the extreme seller's market that we've been experiencing for the last few years. So even though we're still in a seller's market, we're starting to see, this inventory kind of creep up a little bit. Sales are dropping. Day on market is increasing. Are we getting into that weird place that we haven't been in for so long, that we actually are in a balanced market and it just feels slightly weird, Josh?
That's right. A balanced market is typically defined of at least 4 months of inventory, but not more than 6. We're actually still at just under 3 months of inventory. So it's a seller's market, but maybe a weaker seller's market than it was when we were below 2 months. So that might open some opportunities for our buyers. But still, it's not super bad for the sellers.
No, it's still an amazing market to be in. Again, the tactics, if you're a seller, you must price your home correctly. If you ask too much money for your home, it's going to sit and lag on the market. That's the big key thing, right? We need to make sure we price it and then market effectively. If you're a buyer, there is some of these outliers that some of my buyers have been taking advantage of, finding the ones that have had a high day on market, and maybe try and catch them and get a great deal on something that's been lagging in the marketplace and lost sight.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jay. That helps us understand what's going on with the real estate statistics for Edmonton here in August of 2025. If you like this type of content, please click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications, and we'll keep bringing more of this information and whatnot to you every single week. Thanks so much.